Many men have nothing to smile about. Been broke down, too proud to cry it out. Walk a mile in my boots and you know what I'm about. I took some licks and I took some hits and I found out them bones can actually break sticks. But them words are powerful as shit.
Hello there. Welcome to Let the Paint Dry. Here we are once again in Tacoma. Just loving the weather. It's one of those crisp winter days, and that's the season that we're in on the 1st of December. And we're so honored to be here. And as always, we open with a song. We see what's on our heart, what's on the top. It's all improv. It's all in the spirit. It's all from the body, from the ancestors down to this day in 2020. So let's go ahead and see what we got here this morning. Boom, boom, boom. Meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. Meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. Meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall, riding on the wall. Said meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. I said a meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. I said a meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. I said a meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall, riding on the wall. Meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. A seraphim, a cherubim, a hand riding on the wall. A seraphim, a cherubim, a hand riding on the wall, riding on the wall. Meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. I said a meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. I said a meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall, riding on the wall, riding on the wall. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock. Meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. Meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. I said a meeny, Tekel says a hand riding on the wall. We're gonna find a way. 2020, we're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way. So there you have it. It's always a pleasure to be here. So grateful. So grateful to be able to just use this platform of let the paint dry and speak and share what's on my heart, share what's on the surface, share what comes through as a creative, and in a year, in a time like this, as we've talked about all year or all season that we've been going on this podcast, we've talked about how this time is so unique, and we all know it. We're all looking at each other, seeing how unique this time is, seeing how there are some really, really serious things that people are facing. There are businesses that are behind in rent. There are people that are 6, 7, 8, 9 months behind in rent. There are real challenges in our community here in the Pacific Northwest, here in Tacoma, between Tacoma and Olympia and Seattle. And what I'm interested in as a creative is thinking creatively and from a human standpoint, in the best side of our humanity, thinking about ways to help in these problems, thinking about ways to allocate money, thinking about ways to grow business. Like one of my biggest things is growing my art business. I grow the business to support myself and all the things that I have going on, and also to help others, right? Also to put money in their pockets. So it's so important as creatives because we will get through this, right? This is just a season. This won't stay. The restrictions won't stay. The pandemic, the level of people getting sick won't stay. It's going to change. And when it does, we will still have the challenges that we have now. We won't have when it's all over or when this season is over. We'll have new challenges. But this is a wake-up call to all of us to help out our neighbor. And who is our neighbor? As my dad used to say, anybody that we're in contact with, anybody that we're in circumference with, anybody that we're in community with, right? That's our neighbor, right? Not just the person that's living next door to wherever we live, but our community. And that's what I think about all the time. I think about how do we continue to move money around in this community. I'm a creative. I sell paintings. I sell t-shirts. I sell prints. I sell sometimes digital art, for $5, right? How do we continue to, is what I'm looking at, how do we continue to move that money, my little section where money comes into my hand and then it goes out and affects all the businesses that I use and all the services that I use. And I learned many years ago in high school, the very first lecture in my poli-sci class, he said, emotions move the economy. So what if we brought a high level of intelligence, emotional intelligence, to how we move from 2020 with the information that we now have, or we know what is possible. We see that the economy can be shut down, and we see all these crazy scenarios that we're in as people, right, as we move forward in 2020. Now that we have that information, how do we bring the highest level of emotional intelligence into 2021? And I've been thinking about all the good stuff of our human nature, the giving, the bringing a good service, bringing a good product. I try my very best to bring the very best that I can possibly bring in everything that I do, that I put out in the world. A lot of it is improv, but it's my very best, right? It's my very best that I want to bring to the world. I was selling we had a sale over at 6th Ave. Shout out to the Tacoma Artist Walk, James and his whole crew. We were out there and on 6th Ave and had a beautiful 2 days of selling. There was one of my prints had a little crease in it, and this girl said, "Hey, do you have one without a crease?" And I didn't, but I said, "Hey, you let me know, you email me, and I'll make sure I get one without a crease." The best I can give. It's a small little thing. It's just a print, but the very best, right? When I pack those, when I ship them, I pack them in very, very durable packing because I don't want any creases. I want the very best. And so how do we bring our very best at the end of 2020, and we're still here. We made it, right? one day at a time, 1 week at a time, one season at a time, one cell at a time, one month at a time. We made it. We're here. And how do we go into 2021 with the right mindset? And so what I'm thinking for myself is all the good stuff and more of the good stuff. The earth has an infinite amount of energy, right? So let's ride that wave. Let's ride that wave and bring all of that good stuff. The being able to see each other, right? Being able to utilize empathy, being able to utilize kindness, being able to do things that are uncomfortable. There are times where I partner with people that don't have the experience, right? The life experience that I have a totally different life experience, but I partner with them. I come alongside them, they come alongside me, and we walk together and we figure out ways to solve their problems. And here's the thing, it's so funny because someone could be really struggling, but I'm always in awe with what they're bringing to the table. If I pause and make sure my ego is not on the table, slide that ego off and look at what they can offer. And I'm amazed at the gifts that they bring. People that are marginalized, the gifts that they bring to my life. I work with some amazing people. I mean, just amazing creatives, amazing minds. And they're so powerful, and they haven't been recognized yet. They haven't been recognized. They haven't even reached they haven't even reached like the first plateau of their potential. Like, it's in plateaus, right? Like you're here and then you move up and you run along. They've barely gotten started, and they're bringing so much power to the table, so much energy, so much creative juice. And that's what this looks like. Hiring people that you normally wouldn't hire, but seeing what they bring to the table, because you'll be surprised. Getting to know people, sitting with them long enough to know their story and to really look at them and to really see how you can come alongside them and help. That's a huge part of Let the Paint Dry. That's this brand, that we're making and creating kind of as we go. You've watched it develop over the last few months that we've been doing this podcast, and now it's a brand, and it's a life design. And it's a way of thinking, and it's really an organic way of thinking. Whereas we have a lot of instant stuff, and we need that. Like, I called my bank this morning, and they were able to do it instantly, 10 minutes. They had it all fixed. That's beautiful, right? That shit is lovely, and we need that. But then there's a part of life that takes some patience, like development. Like when you're developing people's talents, and you're developing yourself, and you're developing your skills, that takes more time. Right? When you're doing art, science is step 1, step 2, and you get the same result, rinse and repeat. You do that over and over and over again because someone figured out this is the science, right? Art is different every time. Art, you may use a brush. The next time you may use words, written words. And the next time after that, you may use spoken words. And the next time after that, you may use sounds. And the next time after that, you may use just colors. And then you may use light. Like photographers, my brother once told me, he said, both of my brothers are photographers and filmmakers. And my brother, I have 2 younger brothers. One of them, I don't know how to describe him, but one of them told me, he said, I don't try and teach people how to use the camera. You can go to YouTube and learn that. He said, I try and teach them how to see light, right? So those type of things, seeing light, understanding light, this creative intelligence that artists and influencers and entrepreneurs and podcasters that we all carry, it's a slower process. And that's what the Let the Paint Dry is. You have to let the paint dry. As you develop these things and we create all these things, that some things just bring us joy, and that's the value of just bringing people joy. Some things bring people opportunities to make money, and that has a value. I don't really like to weigh those 2 values. They're all a part of this whole journey in life, right? But that's what Let the Paint Dry is about, is this slowing down. We appreciate all the instant things, but we're about developing talent, developing our talent, developing a brand, creating space, and blending kind of this spiritual talking that I do into business, into art, into creative, into development, into fashion. I've been working on some custom shirts and dyes and bleaching and we have about 18 of them, like a little fall line that I'm actually very pleased with, and they're going to be out on the website. I have a couple shirts up, and I'm going to be doing more, and we're going to go forward with a clothing brand that's going to be custom. We'll do some stamped out stuff, where we can kind of scale a little bit, but that's what this is about, is finding things that you're excited about and developing them and selling them if it's appropriate to sell them. Me, I try and sell anything, so you have to be careful with me. But it's one of the things that we're excited about, and we're developing all this in Let the Paint Dry, And so sometimes it looks like a custom T-shirt that's one of a kind, and then sometimes it looks like a T-shirt that's stamped out. It's been pressed, and then we're gonna have some custom presses as well. I'm gonna have like a limited edition of presses. I got a couple screens that I can do some silk screening on the shirts. So if I come up with some that I really like and they're really good, we'll put them out. And that's the beauty of it, is that when you silk screen something, it doesn't always turn out right. So you can have a bunch of duds, and then you can have one that's good, and then it makes it more limited, more one of a kind, one of one. So we're going to do that, and then sometimes it looks like a gallery show. We have a show in Seattle that will be there on the 3rd. We'll be in Seattle at Vermilion in Capitol Hill, and we have, I think, 13 pieces up, and we're excited to be back in Seattle. It's been years since we've showed in Seattle, but here we are back again. So those are the things that we think about with Let the Paint Dry, and those are the good things that we want to bring more of to the table. We want to bring more, and we're going to take this all the way into 2021. We got to keep living, right? We got to. I see this phrase of we have to keep living and loving, right? We have to keep eating. We have to keep working. We're just going to mask up if we have to mask up, and we're going to be as safe as possible, and we're going to do this, right? We're going to bring the best of what we have, the good stuff. We're going to bring the good stuff. We're going to put it in the center table, and we're going to utilize that every day. And the good stuff is kindness. The good stuff is space with the lack of ego. The good stuff is empathy. The good stuff is seeing each other and listening to each other. Even if you have differences of political is where we're polarized, and race, it causes a visceral response, but we still can move forward. And I am of this mindset that I'm not waiting on leadership to give us the cue. I'm not waiting on whoever's in the Oval Office, whoever's in the governor's office, whoever's in the mayor's office, whoever's in the city councils. I'm not waiting for that. Those are individual people holding positions, but it's about the everyday person. How do you treat someone when you are at the grocery store and you buy something and they're having a bad day and you see it? It's those little things like that. And that's a really kind of trite example, but it's real, right? How do we love on people in public, and not something that's obnoxious or crossing boundaries, but just smiling, engaging, seeing, listening. And then how do we take care of the ones that we live with, our loved ones, our spouses? How do we take care of them? These are the things that I think about. These are the things that I'm challenged by. That kind of kindness that we have for the most precious people and the most closest people to us. And it starts there, or it starts with ourselves, with us loving ourselves. And that's a personal journey. You know what's good for you. And I think as I was talking this morning with my, who was I talking to? I can't think of the title of the family member, but I was talking to a family member. And I was talking about self-love and being aware of that, and how that it took me a long journey to get to a place that I knew how to take care of myself. I feel like I'm just learning it now at 41, how to really take care of myself, how to give self-love. And it starts there. When you start really giving yourself love and being kinder, and it's so funny, the pandemic has caused us to sit down and give love. And some of us have been going in circles, probably drinking a little bit too much, right? That's real. You know, trying to soothe that pain. I get it. No judgment here. Trying to get through, right? So, but if we can take this opportunity that we have these goofy restrictions and trying to look out for people, and you know, some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't, right? But as we sit with that, take this time to do love on ourselves, to give to ourselves. Women probably are better at that. I can probably say that. Men, love yourselves, because you know we get reduced a lot of times. Masculinity, right? It gets reduced to being sarcastic and being macho, right? And being angry. But love yourself. Get in touch with that side. It'll make you live longer, live better, be kinder. There's nothing wrong with that. It's 2020. We're about to go in 20. It's pandemic season, right? So we're going into 2021. Let's take everything that we learned and let's use it as a tool. Let's use it as fuel. Let's use it as a foundation with how to move in 2021. So those are the things that I'm thinking about. Those are the things that are on my heart, on my mind. And I appreciate this space to sort it out organically, sort it out, improvised. I can't even talk. I can't even say that word, but you get what I'm saying. It's off the cuff. So as we move forward, we take the good stuff. We take all of the things that we learned and we take it into 2021 and we make it work for us. We make it work for others. It's about energy being exchanged, right? Money doesn't do any good just staying in one spot. It's got to move. Our energy's got to move. It's got to go to other people. And other people's energy has to come to us. And around it goes. And if we really, really focus on that energy being exchanged in our communities, exchanged in our homes, exchanged in our neighborhoods, then I think we're winning. We're really winning at that point. I've been working on my mind. I've been praying for you. I've been working on my mind. I've been working on my heart. I've been praying for you to make it. I've been praying all night long. I am trying to put the crown on your head. I said I am trying to put the crown on your head. I said I am trying to put the crown on your head. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've been working on my heart. I've been working on my mind. I've been working on my heart. I've been praying for the light of day. I've been praying for the light of day. Mm-hmm. 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 Be-do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do. 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 What-a-yeah-do-go-go. I've been working on my heart. I've been working on my mind. I said I've been praying for the light to come. Mm-hmm. So to switch gears and to go into just kind of the business side of things, or the admin or updates and announcements, is we're going to be this Thursday, so 2 days from now, I guess, Thursday the 3rd, we will be at Vermilion from 5 to 8. We have a show there in Capitol Hill, and we have 13 pieces up. Beautiful little space. You can see the whole thing from the outside. So that's going to run through the 13th. And if we're keeping it open flexible, it may run a little bit longer, but for sure the 13th. And then on the website, on my website, travisjohnsonart.squarespace.com, I have everything on sale for 30% off. And there's a promo code. I should have the promo code, but if you go on to Instagram, it's on there, on several of the tags there. And I'll put it up on this as well. And I'll probably extend, and I'll have a new promo code after the 12th, to go in right up against Christmas for people buying the last minute holiday gifts. And we're going to have more shirts. We have 2 up. We're going to have, they're all one of a kind, the Greasewood series. We're going to have more shirts up, more digital. I did not get cards. Didn't get cards this year. Talked about it probably 3 or 4 times. Didn't get it done. Just ran out of time. So we're going to do some sort of digital card. I'll try and come up with something kind of the same concept, something that's funny, and then something that's more serious but Christmassy that people can buy. Then something kind of New Year, to a New Year themed digital that's really like $5, right at that price point that you can buy, have on your phone, put on your social media. And then that this is going to be the last show of the year. As in the Vermilion is going to be the last show of the year, and last art gallery show. So then we're going to be revving up for 2021, and just to have more products on our website, more gifts, and more one of a kind type of products and art. Whether it's clothes or art pieces, it's all art to me. We're going to have that on the website. So thank you so much for all of your support. Sponsorship. So we have a beautiful sponsorship program. Thank you to all those that are sponsors so far. It's a wonderful thing. So if you're interested in that, reach out, email us, and we'll get you going on that. And I'm grateful for all the support around the podcast and my work and all the momentum that is happening right now. I'm very, very pleased with it, very inspired. And we're just going to continue on. And I just want to create more conversations about how do we create opportunities for creatives. And that could be musicians, singers, songwriters, artists, graphic painters, dancers, actors. There's a community here that is really working actively hard to continue this work, and it's needed. It's what keeps us grounded. and keeps us where we need to be. So with that being said, go in love and do good work, do work that matters, love those closest to you the hardest, and let the paint dry.